All right, here we go. Here we go. Sunday night Knicks. 3 wins in a row. Yes, do not change your screen. Do not turn this off. The Knicks have won 3 games in a row. Enes Kanter, Emmanuel Mudiay, and company go into the grindhouse and get revenge for Coach Fizdale. Knicks win 103-98. We're going to get into it. Give you our takeaways. Get your takeaways. And, yeah, man, call us up. Phone line is up, 657-383-1509. I got my boy Alex Wolf from Posting and Toasted joining us on the usual Sunday. So, yeah, man, let's get into it right now.
Knicks Fan TV. Y'all watching Knicks Fan TV.
All right, bro. Thanks, man.
Post-game live. Let me set my guy Alex up here. Al, usual Sunday festivities for us, man. Back again. Yeah. Back at it again, and in time for a 3-game winning streak. So let me hit the music. I mean, the tank talk seems to be subsiding, man. You know, 3 games in a row, 3 quality opponents, and it just seems like, you know what, we went into the grindhouse, we played their game, physical, tough, half-court game, and we beat the Grizzlies at their own game, man. Yeah.
By the Grizzlies, you know, they were looked a little out of their depth, you know, like you know, just that it wasn't going to be their night. And then that third quarter explosion, man. I mean, we crap on Enes Kanter pretty often, but all credit to him. He had a hell of a third quarter. He did the things that he does well to such a high degree that it completely mitigated, you know, his defensive deficiencies and stuff, at least for that one quarter, which is about all you can ask of him. Tim kind of turned it on a little bit there in that third as well, after he started real slow again today. Very much not, didn't look like he was going to have a good night. And then all of a sudden kind of caught heat a little bit there in the third quarter, and he got going, and, you know, then they sort of almost blew it again and then came back again and just finished it off. It was a really cool game to watch, just because it's nice to see that the Knicks, you know, care enough about these games at this point, and care enough about, in particular, on this night, they cared about Fizdale and about getting that win for him. You know, it's nice to see them really care about things like this, you know, and to be out there really giving it their all.
Yeah, all facts, man. And, you know, time and time again, you know, we get on Kanter, rightfully so, you know, when it's due. This was probably one of the first games I've seen Kanter go toe-to-toe with a premier big man and end up on the better side of the matchup. You know, Kanter was dominant, man. Dominant. You know, we got to give credit where credit is due. He absolutely destroyed the Grizzlies tonight. Career high, 25 boards, I believe. Let me go to the box score. 21 points, 26 rebounds, 9 of 16 from the field. Plus 9 on the night for the Knicks in 41 minutes. 41 minutes for Kanter, man. Yep. You know, so give credit where credit is due, man. He put the team on their back in the third quarter. We go out to that 35-19 quarter in terms of scoring. This is just an outright outburst. Fourth quarter, we're up by 9. Grizzlies come charging back. Jaren Jackson is destroying us. I mean, Mount Matumbo all over the place. We couldn't get anything in the paint. He was sending everything back. And, you know, at that point, I think, Memphis starts charging. They start taking the lead up by about 3-5, somewhere around there. But we just hung in there, man. You know what I mean? We just hung in there with gritty, tough defense of our own. Give credit to guys like Vonleh, Kanter, Mudiay was out there playing defense. You know, it was a nice, gritty win, man. And then another thing that I liked was, you know, this was another test. For one thing, on the road, right, against a top quality, second best record in the West. You know, another crunch time test for the Knicks. and they passed with flying colors, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was like anything you could ask for from a road game, from a team this young, like a team this relatively inexperienced. They they took the big punch at the beginning.
Yep.
They came back, they counter punched in the third quarter, and then they took another big punch in the fourth when they gave that lead back up. I mean, they led by as much as I think 9 was their biggest lead night, and then Memphis, like you said, they came back to lead it by whatever it was, 3 or 5 points or something like that, and then the Knicks put together another quality run. It was just a great game to watch. I'm kind of at a loss for words in a way, because it's just one of those where you find it hard to describe it, because they played with so much energy, and it was just such like an exciting game to watch.
Gritty, man. Gritty.
The Trey Burke steal to the Moutier dunk. I mean, that felt like a freaking playoff moment.
Moutier dunked on Garrett Temple, posterizing him. I mean, listen, man. I
didn't know Moutier could get up like that.
Who knew? Who knew? I mean, Fizdale has been hitting all the right buttons with this guy, Moutier. As soon as he came back from the ankle injury, obviously, he was a bit rusty coming in. But listen, this is about 4 or 5 straight games now that you're seeing positive play from Emmanuel Moutier on both ends of the floor. In our season previews of me, Jay Ellis, our summer season previews, we always talked about whether or not Moutier was going to be the odd man out of the point guard triangle. We talk about Frank needing his minutes. We talk about Trey coming off of last year's stellar performance. But we always said, if Moutier can just put it together, he still has the best tools of the 3 to be the quote-unquote complete point guard that we need. And, he's showing it out there tonight, man.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's doing like everything well, which is crazy to think. I mean, if you look at, I feel like if you looked at how he played during, say, the preseason, and then compared it to how he's playing now, you wouldn't even think you're looking at the same player. I mean, he's just, Fizdale's done something with him where he's like found the key to Moutier's brain that allows him to recognize things on defense, to at least like be passable on defense. And he's playing passing lanes really well on defense. Like, that's been his biggest attribute there, I think, over the last few games or so, since he's kind of been emerging here. But also on offense, I mean, he's finishing so much better. Like, the biggest thing with him was that he could get to the rim when he wanted to, but he could never finish. And now all of a sudden he was more so on the floor than anything else, man. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so it's wild to see like how well he's finishing now. He's not like a mega high assist guy, but he keeps the ball moving well. What I mean? I don't think that he would never be, if you handed him starters minutes for like a whole season, I don't think he'd ever eclipse maybe 6-7 assists a game, something like that. But I mean, he moves the ball well. He certainly is not like only looking for his own shot, which is refreshing on a team where like this team in general ISOs a lot, has a lot of players that are consistently looking for their own shot. So it's nice to see him, like he's been good at figuring out the right moments to look for himself and look for others, kind of thing, which is nice to see as well. That's a fact.
In that fourth quarter, we end up going into the penalty with 5.5 left. Marc Gasol just being a crafty player. But give credit. When we get it down to 2 minutes left, Timmy busts out of his slump, hits a big 3. We go up by 1. And then 1:35 left. Trey Burke jumps into the passing lane, steals it on Temple, and throws it to Moutier, who bashes it on Temple, man. So that was the play of the game. Moutier sealed it.
That was maybe one of the top 5 plays of this year so far. I mean, that was oof. That was I got right out of my seat for that one. That was incredible, man. That was such a good play.
Shout out Above the Rim in my chat. Shout out Above the Rim in the YouTube chat. He said his wife got mad at him because he smashed the table as soon as Moutier posterized Garrett Temple.
Yeah. It's worth it, man. Tables are temporary. Emmanuel Moutier dunks are forever. So you gotta.
That's it, man.
Table doesn't matter.
That's it. That's it, man. So we're going to get to the phones, but once again, shout out everybody watching on YouTube, Posting and Toasting, Knicks Film School, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you guys are watching. Happy Sunday. You know, good win. Shout out to everybody in my chat. Let me shout some people out before we get to the phones. Josh Nurse, Mamadou Sekou, Above the Rim. John Talento's in here first. Reaper Man, what's going on? Royce Cujo, Jamie Juarez, the great Ron, Car Guru checking in from Latvia. What's going on, Car Guru? David Carfinkel says, great Team D tonight. Drip Bayless says, Fizz is the Moutier whisperer. Seems so, man. Fizz said he was going to get this kid right, and right now he's on the right track. I see some people are saying Illmatic says, relax on the Moutier bandwagon. I mean, listen, I don't know if it's a bandwagon. I think we just give him credit where credit is due, man. That's what I like to say on the show. You know what I mean, Al?
Man, who's gonna rain on that parade right now?
Right.
You know, we're celebrating this dude who we thought was gonna be out of the league by halfway through the year. He's playing like a starter right now, man. Let's be happy for once. Damn.
That's a fact, man.
We're on a 3-game win streak. Hold on to this feeling, you know, like
hold on to it, man. And for any Giants fans watching, you know my pain from today, man. I was a gloomy Gus up until tonight, man, because I was tight, man. And these Knicks Giants doubleheaders haven't fared too well for us, but you know, the Knicks were able to redeem themselves. So, go ahead, Al.
For the Jets, not for Jets fans either.
Yeah, not for Jets fans either, man. Not for Jets fans. Yeah, the Jet fans quickly talked me off the ledge when I was, proclaiming my sorrow on Twitter.
Yeah, you know we can't all have 2 Super Bowls in the last 15 years, man. You know, so you just got to learn to get down with the Jets fan mindset. You know,
that's a fact.
Just, take the losing in stride. You know, it's fine. It's good.
That's a fact, man. 55 Chess King, what's going on? I see you. All right, let's get to the phones. Julian starts us off tonight. He wants to talk about Moutier. Julian, what's your takes on the game tonight, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Man, I was so deflated coming off Brady just giving us that ass whooping, but yeah, it's like I was so relieved when Moutier just banged out all up in Garrett Temple's face. That was just great to watch, and I think we got to retire Moutier. I think for now,
the Moutier talk might have to subside, Mal. You know, everybody in the chat, some people in the chat crowned him with that nickname. It certainly hasn't been appearing so far.
Yeah, man. Fizz. You know, I'm just wondering if we're going to see, because thinking back now on that Melo trade turned into Enes Kanter, Emmanuel Moutier, and Mitchell Robinson. So we actually robbed the Thunder. If thinking back on it,
yeah,
that was Scott Perry, Steve Mills. We got to give them so much credit for what they've done.
Yeah, true indeed, man. True indeed.
Yeah,
go ahead, Al.
No, I was gonna say no doubt. Like, I mean, Moutier, all of a sudden he's like a revelation, and suddenly you're right. Like that trade is so much sweeter now when you think about it. So
that's a fact. All right, Julian, man, appreciate the call, man. Think we lost Julian. Julian usually has a lot to say. Oh, Julian dropped. All right, my bad, Julian. You can call back. All right, Jay from Brooklyn. He wants to talk about Canner. Jay, you on the line, man. What's going on?
Yeah, Jay, what's going on, man? Big fan of you guys, man. Love what you guys are doing.
Appreciate it, bro.
Just talking about Canner, man. I mean, the type of numbers this dude is doing is unbelievable, you know? I see a lot of people, especially with my buddies, talking about, you know, trade Canner, try to get some value for him, which I understand that point of view, but who are you going to get to do that type of rebounding and that offensive game he has? You know, he has his liabilities on defense. It is what it is, but to me, I think his positives outweigh the negatives, in my opinion, you know? I want to know what y'all think about that.
Ah, man, this one has been tough, man. This one has been tough for me, Al, because it's like...
definitely.
The rebound and the points are always there for him, but it's just sometimes it just seems like he's much more of a defensive liability out there. And sometimes that negates, a lot of callers call and say, sometimes his stats are just hollow. But I think tonight
inflated,
was very good tonight.
I mean, tonight he struggled a lot.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, just say he struggled a lot covering Gasol going out to the 3-point line, Jaren Jackson to a degree with that. But he actually played Gasol pretty tight on the inside a few times, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
I think he had a pretty good block on him.
Yeah.
I want to say first half. I mean, he had his moments today where it at least looked like he was trying in some ways on defense. Not all the time because he never tries all the time.
And the last game too, Pelicans game too, he was trying a little bit harder for sure.
But I mean, like I said before, I mean, obviously his offense and rebounding outweighed it all tonight. So
true indeed. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's how I feel. It's like who could you replace? In free agency, that's going to get you that type of production on the defensive and offensive end as far as rebounding is concerned. Like we may strike out in free agency, but who if he doesn't get signed to the team, then who could replace that? You know what I mean? So it's like, do you sign him for a very friendly deal? I know he's making $17 million right now. I don't think he's going to get that anywhere else. He wants to stay in New York. I think he's a viable piece. You can't replace that defense, that rebounding. And offensive. I think this game was tailor made for him because the type of team Memphis is that grind it out. Very 90s.
Yeah.
Definitely a flashback type of game.
Yeah, that's a fair point, man. Definitely all fair points. I mean, I think Al, the talk with Canner is it's not his value, it's his value for the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody realizes, what he brings to the team in terms of getting on the boards and getting his points, but it's just like, can you invest that kind of money in a player like that? We only have so much in the cap. Once KP gets his bag, you got to figure out what you're gonna do with the point guards. Are you gonna re-up Moutier? Are you gonna re-up Burke? Can you get some of those big fish out there? That's all gonna impact what happens with Canner after this. Right now, I would lean towards no, but I'm not in the management's thinking right now. What do you think?
Yeah, my amateur, armchair general manager take on this whole thing. One is, as far as trading him, if a team looks at him and thinks that he's worth giving up anything of worth for, I think you got to take that deal, because I think the reality is that we're probably not going to re-sign him after this year, unless he would literally be down with coming here on something like the minimum or something like that. I mean, which is absurd. I mean, that's an insult to him. As much as we crap on him for this, that, and the other, but it's an insult to him to say that he's actually a veteran's minimum player in the NBA. But that's about all I think the Knicks could afford to pay him. So if there's another team out there that thinks that he's a piece for them for this year to maybe help them in the playoffs or something, then by all means ship him out, because I really don't think that he's coming back here after this season. As far as the point of how would we replace that production, I think the answer is actually already on the roster. Because in reality, Noah Vonleh, they have him signed to they have him signed to a low deal this year, like to a veteran's minimum this year, which means going into next year, without getting too cap mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
He'll have a low cap hold, meaning that he'll only count against the books for something like $2 million, maybe a little more than that, leading up to when they sign him. So that'll be all he'll count against the books until they sign him to a contract, and then they could choose to sign him to something a little bigger than that. It won't be because he was only with the team for 1 year. They can't sign him to like a humongous deal or anything, right? But they can give him at least something respectable. So I think he might be the answer to how you would replace what Cantor does out there, because I would say that Vonleh is probably as good of a rebounder, even if he doesn't get those numbers. I don't think Vonleh chases rebounds quite as much as Cantor does right now. So that's where the discrepancy between their numbers comes. But then also, I mean, on offense, he's got a pretty solid low post game. Last couple games, he's showing off apparently a 3-point game, which we didn't all really think was there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually a pretty good defender. So I think Vonleh is like your answer of how to replace Cantor long term. But that's just me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd much rather sign Vonleh on the cheap than bring back Cantor for a big contract. If people say he should come back on the cheap, I mean, why would he? You know what I'm saying? He's got a new agent. You change agents when you need to get that bag. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to give us a hometown deal. And my camera's a little delayed right now. Pardon that, but I think Vonleh is still a better, cheaper alternative. And we also got to remember too is that a lot of times Cantor's value is seen because we're such a bad team. You know what I'm saying? We're missing our top gun in Kristaps Porzingis. We were coming in here with how many games? 10 games under 500, just about. So on a bad team like this, a guy like Cantor, his stats are always going to stick out. But I think you can still improve the team without bringing him back, especially at the type of money that he's going to be commanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Shoot, the YouTube is going in right now. We got 400 people on the YouTube. Shout out everybody tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button if you're a diehard Knicks fan. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the chat, it's got to be a lot of new people in here. Just give me a hashtag new and where you're checking in from, so we could shout you guys out. But shout out everybody tuning in right now. Definitely appreciate the support. Let's go to Long Island. Carl, he wants to talk about tonight's win. Carl, what's going on, bro?
Yo, what's going on, CP? Alex, it's good to see you on the screen.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay Ellis.
People wondering where Jay Ellis is at. Jay Ellis is Sunday nights or his podcast night, so he's doing his podcast tonight. So shout out Jay Ellis.
I feel you.
He's got to take care of it.
Most mad love to Jay Ellis because he keeps it real, and first off, I gotta say, man, like these 3 wins have been incredible. Like we're actually grinding it out, and when you see kids putting that work in, it's got to make you feel good because, like you said before, we ain't got our biggest gun in KP. And at first, I was on some, let KP sit this season out. But we looking like with KP in there, we might be a playoff team. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, Carl. You got to dial it back, baby. You got to dial it back, Carl. Come on. Come back to us, Carl. Come back to us.
Look. I'm just saying. Hear me out, though. Hear me out, CP. Hear me out. Hear me out. All right? We got Trier looking like a beast.
Okay.
We got Trey Burke finally coming back to his own. Moutier is a monster right now. And I was the biggest hater on Moutier. Like, yo, he's garbage. Send him back to the Congo. Let him do what he got to do. Lion King, rah, whatever. Right? And you remember me. I was the one with the elephant soundtrack.
Yeah. No, I remember.
You remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
All right. So I got to give him love when, give respect where respect is due. But I'm looking at these kids like we're at a level right now where everyone's developing, and we have a potential to be a really good, solid team. Like what Cantor's given us right now, it's crazy. I mean, you don't get 26 boards without putting that work in. You know what I mean? Like we saw the YouTube videos of him doing the workouts and whatever. We were all like, yeah, all right, bro. But we'll see what happens in the season. And he's putting that work in.
Yeah.
And he's actually showing improvement. But I got 2 questions for you because I know you got tons of callers.
Yeah, we got a lot of calls in, so yeah, please go ahead.
But real quick, 2 questions. Question number 1, all right, what is good with Kevin Knox? All right, like, I love this kid. Like, he's the prototypical 3 that you're looking for with his size, his shot, his handles, his ability, and the age. You know what I'm saying? But question number 2 also is we have stupid stupid depth. And I'm worried that at the end of this season, because everybody's on a 1-year contract, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody, are we going to lose all these cats? Because I'm loving what Von Lee's doing. I'm loving what Trier's doing. I'm loving what Trey Burke is doing.
Yeah.
But are we going to lose all these cats? Y'all, you know, I'll let it up to y'all. Throw
Appreciate
it out there. Talk to the chat. Yo, shout out to the chat, too, real quick.
Shout out to
But
chat.
yeah,
Chat is
let me
popping
know what
tonight,
y'all
man.
feeling
All right,
about
Carl.
that.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's my guy Carl from LI. I mean, Al on the Knox front. You know, listen, man. He's struggling. Primarily, he's struggling on both ends, but definitely struggling on the defensive end. He goes 0 for tonight. I think he goes 0 for 4 or 0 for 7. You know, what's your take on Knox so far? I think fans are starting to get antsy. They want to see that summer league Knox out there tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I think he's in his own head right now. If I had to like diagnose him, it just seems like he's lacking some confidence in a way, but also trying too hard. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think he's lacking confidence in himself in a way, but also he's shooting it almost every time he touches the ball, it seems like, on offense, which is a problem. You know, that's not conducive to winning, especially with rookie and you're not necessarily like that good yet.
Yeah.
So it's tricky with him. Like, and on defense, defense tonight, I can't fault him too bad. You know what I mean? He had a real tough matchup for him tonight for the short time he was out there. He had Jermichael Green that he had to cover almost the whole time he was out there. And Jermichael Green is like a pretty big dude and definitely physically out.
Yeah, that wasn't his fight. That wasn't his fight.
So, yeah. So I give him a little bit of a pass for that tonight. You know, Jermichael Green was shoving him around like a rag doll, man. Like he couldn't do anything out there against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've already said this like 2 or 3 times on here.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about Knox. You know, if we hit this point next year and he doesn't look like he's made improvements, then yeah, I'll worry a little bit. But right now, you know, he missed 8 games or whatever it was. So
the ankle set him back.
Yeah. So he has 8 less games than everybody else out there as well. I mean, he's just a little lost right now. I like to find it his way. Hopefully he does.
Yeah. He'll be all right, man. He'll be all right. You know, like I said, a lot of people are looking for that summer league Knox. And, you know, we just got to realize that, this is the big leagues, man. You know, and, we see ISO out there beasting, and we see Money Mitch out there doing his thing. And, we see rookies of the past, come in and make immediate impacts. Some guys is just going to take a little bit longer than others. Some guys are just going to take a little bit longer than others. We got to remember this kid is 18 years old. Still got to work into his body, get into form. And he'll be back. He'll get up to speed.
And the reality of the 3 of them, of Trier, Knox, and Robinson, is that like Trier is a revelation. I mean, Trier, like nobody could have really seen that coming. And I mean, he's just way better than anybody thought he would ever possibly be. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of the outlier. Knox and Robinson, I think, are developing about the way you would think they would. Robinson, having some trouble with fouling a little bit. But, generally his skills are easier to step right in at the NBA level and have work right away. Rebounding, shot blocking, defense, just rim running, just the general like catching lobs, just athletic type plays. Knox's game is going to require a little more development, because they're expecting him to be like a 3-level scorer who can shoot the ball, drive, shoot from mid range, come off screens and shoot and whatever. I mean, there's a lot more to what Knox is expected to do in the game than what there is for Mitch.
Yeah.
And Knox is younger than him. And Knox, again, has, 8 less games under his belt so far this year. So I'm not – and with that came all that practice time he missed as well while he was hurt. So there's that to consider as well. So, if Knox is going to be developed the way that you want him to be developed, it's going to be a process because it's like there's a lot of layers. It's to quote like one of my favorite movies, Shrek. He's like an onion, he's got layers.
He's got layers. He's got layers, man. Good. That's a
got
good
legs.
analogy, man. Shout out to Shrek. That was a good movie. Yeah, man. Shout out everybody in the chat. What do you guys think about this Knox situation? Have you bailed on Knox? Or are you still gonna be patient with Knox? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me shout out some more people before we get back to the phone. Shout out Smith Jr. He's new, checking in from Syracuse. David Garfinkel, new from Manhattan. The Great Ron, new from Brooklyn. Kenyon Chapman from Brooklyn. Adam Feltz from Brooklyn. BK Heavy in here tonight. Sid Leonard, he says he's new. Sid, I seen you in the chat before, man. But shout out to Sid. He's from Uptown Harlem. Shout out Harlem. KB, new from Australia. We got some international folks in here. Shout out Australia. My Sugar, he's new from the Boogie Down Bronx. Shout out Boogie Down Bronx. One Take is new. Shout out One Take. Yeah, man. Who else? Joseph Fisher. Shout out Joseph Fisher, man. Welcome everybody in the chat. Just smash that thumbs up button for you boys and subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. Once again, this is the post-game show for the fans, by the fans. We do this after every game. Get your takeaways, give you our takeaways. We're going to do our player ratings in a little bit. See who shined in tonight's win. And, yeah, man, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Anthony in Washington Heights. He wants to talk about the roster. Anthony, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's up? How y'all doing?
How you feeling, bro?
Good.
I'm all right, man. I'm happy for the win, but I'm a little disappointed in the minutes that Knox, Frank, Mitchell got.
Yeah.
Knox got 7 minutes. Mitch got 17. Frank got 13, if I'm not mistaken. And I get, I think Fizz really wanted to win this game, so I think that's why he
Seems
sat him on the
so.
bench.
That starting unit went real deep into the third, and most of them stretched into the beginnings of the fourth. That starting unit got a lot of minutes in that third.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. He wanted to pull this W out.
Yeah.
But we got to get these players developed. And Knox is going to be all right, man. He's a kid. He's a baby. He's 19. I feel like everybody forgets that.
Yeah.
He has so much room to develop, and you can see the potential. You could see it. And he did it in Summer League. Summer League, at the end of the day, you saw what he could do.
Facts.
My second thing I wanted to ask you guys, who do you think we should cut when it comes around time with Trier's contract?
With Trier, I
feel like that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so that's coming up, I believe, December 5th out. Let me know if I'm wrong on this.
Yeah,
I think it's soon.
I think that's it's right around there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the majority opinion right now is to try to see if you can get Cornette on that two-way deal, cut Cornette and re-sign him on that two-way, and just give ISO his deal. I think that's what do you think, Al? That's pretty much the majority thinking.
Yeah, right, I think I floated that on here, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or whatever. I think that's the most likely solution to that good problem to have. That you're not going to be able to keep Trier here as a two-way player. That man should never set foot in Westchester.
Yeah.
So the second his eligibility expires, I would sign him up to the NBA, and then I would cut Cornette and sort of have a handshake deal to just sign him right up to a two-way deal. And because clearly, I mean, it's not even like Cornette's getting play time, and it doesn't seem like he's really a part of the plan as far as the quote unquote like young guys go.
Yeah.
So put him on a two-way deal, then he could get some run towards the end of the season again. Maybe try to audition for either an NBA deal with the Knicks again or an NBA deal with someone else, whatever. But I think that's probably the best solution.
Absolutely, and
that sounds good. He balled out yesterday in Westchester.
Yeah, Cornette's been beasting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the playing time is good for him. If he's not going to get it here, you might as well continue to try to get something out of him down there. Maybe you can come up here and be a little stretch for.
And one last thing, CT, man, these Giants, man, killed me today.
They crushed me. They crushed me today, Anthony, man. I'm so glad the Knicks. That's another reason why I'm so happy tonight, man. Because my Giants, they broke my heart tonight, man. They broke my heart today, man.
We had it in the bag, bro.
Had it in the bag against our arch rivals, man.
Yeah,
appreciate it, Anthony, man. And I hate to cross over into sports, man, but this Giants coach got to go, man. He's a bum. And that's all I'll say about that, Al. That's all I'll say about that. Let's go back to the phones, back to basketball. Walter in LI wants to talk about Noah Vonleh. Walter, what's going on, man?
Oh, what's good, y'all? Just want to say, finally, 3-game win streak.
3-game win streak.
We doing some things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yup. Noah Vonleh was really hooping tonight. I wanted to say about like when Kristaps comes back, though. Like when he comes back, about like his minutes and everything. I mean, I guess you think Fizdale probably gonna probably let him earn it, or you think he's just gonna go ahead and give him the GP because he's Kristaps.
I mean, once KP comes back, I mean, it depends on how slowly along they want to bring him. But once they come back, he's in. He's in there. I would assume they're still gonna put him on a minutes restriction, but I don't see nothing about him earning it. Nah, he's gonna be in there.
You see them like run like some 4 or 5 between them, because I know Kristaps. I remember him saying that he really prefers the 4, but I'm like he was still like kind of like still getting into his NBA. Still getting in there, he's still young. So I'm thinking about like, probably running both of them, because the way he was playing tonight, the way he moves, his feet, and he's shooting, he don't care who he's playing up against. I'm like, bro, like he should be starting. Like he needs to keep on playing because he's winning. Like when he's playing, we winning.
Vonleh you talking about, right?
I'm really liking this game. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been impressed with Vonleh, man. When he first signed, I remember when we did the live stream to talk about the signing, and everybody in the chat was clowning him like, this guy's trash, blah blah blah. And he hasn't panned out thus far in his career, but he's coming in here, he's playing tough on both ends. So we got to give credit there. Al. What's been your take on Vonleh, Al?
I mean, pretty much just what you said. I think there were glimpses that he could maybe be like this, and not quite as good as he has been so far. I mean, he's definitely exceeded expectations, but there was tape and stats and whatever that could have told you that he's a good rebounder, decent enough scorer, that he could go out there and a pretty good defender, So he's definitely been outplaying what we thought he could be. As far as when KP comes back, like I actually think KP and Vonleh would probably play pretty well together.
I think.
I mean, if you remember, it's a while ago now in Knicks years, but if you remember from KP's rookie year, Robin Lopez, he played pretty well with him, and I think Vonleh is similar in some ways to Lopez. So he's a good rebounder, but not necessarily not like Cantor in the sense that he's like strictly looking for his own board, but he's also he's just kind of doing team box outs, that sort of thing.
Pushing the ball up. He brings the ball up. He's not afraid. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think that he and KP could actually play pretty well together.
I think
just
so.
because Vonleh's proven to be a capable defender as well.
Yeah.
So if Vonleh gets pulled out to the perimeter, he's not totally useless.
Yeah.
Which means that Vonleh can follow somebody out to the perimeter, and then KP can hang back for that block down low. Which is kind of where he thrives is as a rim protector.
Yeah, I like Vonleh's versatility for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I think there's and to answer the question about KP also, like earning playing time or whatever, I know that Fizdale has like very much like a tryouts sort of vibe to the season this year, where everybody's just trying out and trying to earn their spot and all that. But realistically, like there are 2 guys on this team that does not apply to or seem to not apply to, and that's Tim Hardaway
and
Kristaps.
KP. Yeah, Timmy and KP, they got carte blanche
because they've earned that right at this point. KP, when he comes back, whatever they say he's good for, I mean, he'll come off the bench to start just because that's just how it's going to have to go, because he's going to be coming back from a major injury and rusty, all that crap. But the second that they feel that he's ready to rock, like he's good to go to start or whatever, he's out there. He's starting, period. Like that's a no-brainer.
Factuals. Walt, appreciate the call. Let's go to Doc Ross in Atlanta. He wants to talk about Moutier. Doc, you are on the line. What's going on, Doc?
Yo, what's going on, CP, man? Yo, appreciate the call, man.
How you doing?
Yo, first off, did you see the dunk?
Oh, of course I seen the dunk. Hell yeah.
Oh man, more so than the dunk, I was happy how, Burks.
Yeah.
I was happy how he's pumped up for his own man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we needed, man. So I was happy. a couple of weeks ago, I was like, yo, I'm getting a Moutier jersey if he keep playing like this. Yo, I'm about to put that thing on order tonight, man.
You owe too, Doc, because you were the first Moutier hater
I
on the show.
owe, you know what I'm saying? So that's my man for right now. Right? I like the game, right? Like, at times, right, like, when they was down, I thought that, like, it was the refs taking the game away because this was a bad officiated game.
The officiating was all
no
over the
matter how
place.
You put it. I
The
thought
officiating was all over the place.
Exactly. You know, but I think, you know, one thing that's upsetting me, right, I have no problem. I don't even have no problems with Canada tonight, right? My problem is, why are you giving Dotson DMPs and you putting Hazonia out there? You cannot have this dude out here, man. If it's anybody that should be let go, it's this dude. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder, like, do you guys think that they just playing him because he's like Scott Perry? Wasn't he Scott Perry's project in Orlando or something like that?
He was, yeah. I mean, Al, what do you think? I mean, I think it's just Fizdale, you know, going through his tryouts once again, seeing who's who and what works. And you can't play everybody, you know. So Dotson hasn't played 3 straight games now. Hazonia didn't close the game. We went with the 3 guards. We went with Moutier, Burke, and Timmy to close the game along with Vonleh and Canner. What's your take on the Dotson situation?
I think like what Fizdale's trying to do right now is figure out what all these guys can bring to the table. My theory, hopefully correct, and you know, if it's not, then I don't know what to say about this. But my theory is that with Dotson, he's already figured out as in Dotson,
right?
And so he's still using his 20 to 25 game figure it out period here. We're at what today, 21st game of the season, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we're now at about the quarter way point. So if over the next like 3-4 games we don't see Dotson again, or if after the next 3-4 games we don't see Dotson again, I might get a little worried. But Fizdale's been good about sticking to his timeline so far. So I would think we'll probably start seeing Dotson again soon. I just think that like Fizdale figured out what he has in him. He's got a good defender who can shoot the 3 ball, good on cuts. You know, it's all the dirty work stuff that nobody likes to do. And I think now he's trying to be like, okay, well, let me see Hazonia and see if he does have anything to offer.
Yeah.
And if not, Hazonia will probably be getting DMP.
Yeah. I think so as well. And Doc, appreciate the call. We got a lot of calls in tonight, so we just got to keep it real short. So I've been having to cut people off. Nothing intentional, nothing personal, but you guys understand. What do you guys think in the chat, though, about the whole Hazonia, Dotson situation? Because another thing that's going to be happening, Courtney Lee is on the way back. So you can expect this guy's certain minutes are going to get impacted, including Dotson, including Hazonia, including Kevin Knox. Maybe even ISO. I doubt ISO because I think, Fizz really likes ISO. But we got to play Lee, right, Al? I mean, we got to play him if you're going to trade him.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky too. That's going to be tricky just another guy. I do think they need to play Lee for sure when he comes back, because the biggest thing with Lee is like you want to try to trade him like you just said, but last year was a career year for him, and he's 32 now. I think he was 31 last year, I think, so he must be like 32 now. And
that's like, it. Courtney Lee got to be older than that. I don't know. Let's check that.
No,
out.
I think he's 32.
Okay.
Let me check. Hold up. Fact check.
Yeah,
Let's
fact
see.
check. How old is Courtney Lee? Google.
Courtney Lee. 33. I'm sorry.
33,
I had him
okay.
one year young.
All
right. So he's 33 years old. At any rate, he just had a career season last year. So, teams got to see that like he can still maintain that, because a lot of times guys, if they have a career season in their 30s, it's like, well, that's an outlier because we have, 10 other years to tell us that's not who this guy is.
Facts.
So you got to get him out there, prove he can still shoot 40% from 3, prove he can still do all those things that he flashed last year. So yeah,
got to showcase.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Got to make sure that teams know that he's for real still.
Yeah. I feel like we've been trying to trade this guy for the last 2.5 years, and we just can't do it. But Philly, if you're listening, Elton Brand, holla at your boys. Courtney Lee's available. And there's nothing against Lee. It's just, we're trying to build something here, and we're just going in different directions, and we got to try to get his salary off the books to get a little bit closer to our future goals. So Courtney Lee's on the horizon. People in the chat, let me know what you think about this whole Lee situation. How do you think it's going to impact the Knicks? Whose minutes do you think it's going to be impacted the most? And do you think we should even be playing Lee? Some people say, why play him at the expense of the youth? But, like I said, we got to fatten him up and to ship him out of here, man. That's just how it goes. All right, let's go back to the phones. Q wants to talk about the game. I know Q's in a good mood tonight. What's going on, Q?
Yo, fellas, what's good?
How you doing, bro?
What's going down?
Right.
Good. Hey, man, feel good. I'm watching the game again. You know what I mean? So it's a good feeling. It actually feels like a team now. You know what I mean? It actually
playing
feels
like a team, man. They're playing together for sure.
Yeah, I like what Fizz is doing. Fizz is developing everybody. I'm still a little sad about free Docs, free Dot. And there was a Marshawn Brooks signing, which was interesting. So your career's never over with.
That's true. Marshawn Brooks is a testament to that, man.
Yeah, man. The Kobe imposter, man. The dude came in thinking he was Kobe, had the afro and everything. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, man.
I'm not worried about Knox at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little worried about Lee because Lee will hurt development. And I just don't want guys their development to be stunted. You see what Fizz did with Moutier? Beautiful. Man, Moutier, you know how we felt about Moutier. Get this guy out of town.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he's a hero. So I just don't want Lee to be here. I want him out, but we got to play him to get his trade value and then get him out the paint. But other than that, man, I like where we're going, man. When KP comes back, I really hope KP sits out the year. I really don't want him to come back. I want him to be healthy and ready to go. So, hey, if y'all could elaborate on any of those points, I would appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Q.
Great show, fellas.
Absolutely,
great show.
Man. Always appreciate your support, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Al, with the whole Lee thing, I mean, it's just a part of the rebuild. Part of the rebuild is, yes, you're gonna bring in young players. Yes, you want to develop your players, but you gotta still shift that old guard out. We haven't completely turned the roster over, and Courtney Lee's been kind of that holdover from that, those Phil free agent transactions. So it's just gonna be the cost of doing business and the nature of the beast. He's gonna have to play. Teams are gonna have to see what he can do before they even think about taking a guy with 2 years at $13 million, I think, on this deal. That's not an easy deal to offload, man. Not an easy deal to offload.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a weird situation. They want to be free agent players, so you kind of have to try to get rid of Lee. You know what I mean? It's like, and it kind of sucks because I actually do like Lee in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I think it sounds like he's a pretty good mentor, the younger guys. But yeah, I mean, you gotta try to get rid of him. You gotta try to get out from under that money first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's gonna be a real tightrope walk when he gets back though, because like Lee's also one of those guys, and maybe it'll be different with Fizdale. Like I don't think you can apples compare anything from the Hornacek era to the Fizdale era so far. But like under Hornacek, Lee kind of bristled at having to play off the bench, a number of times, and so he was always starting under Jeff. And now, I mean, I see a very slim chance that he's going to start this year. So we'll see how he reacts to that first and foremost. But yeah, you got to get him out there, and you got to probably get him playing like 20 minutes a game once he's healthy if you want to try to showcase him a little bit.
Got to, man. We got to try to get this trade, man. We got to try to get this trade. Are you ready to, you want to get into some player ratings?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me know when you got the box score up. Shout out to everybody in the chat once again. Smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We got a couple guys on the line. We're going to get back to the phones in a minute. So, Max, I see you. Matt, Ace, Gene, Steve, we're going to get to you guys. Let's get to these player ratings real quick. Al, give me your who are your top three? Who's your top three tonight, man? Let's start with the third. Who's your third star? Who are you going with?
3 stars. Third star, I will go with. I'm going to say Timmy. I'll say Tim Hardaway Jr. He's my third star. Leading scorer for the night, was a catalyst in that third quarter, which helped give the Knicks some of the points they needed there. All in all, I don't think he had a great game. Very few guys, I would say, had a great game tonight. You know what I mean? But there was some good games. It was a knockdown, drag out kind of game. So nobody was really like phenomenal. You know what I mean? But I think that Tim, he recovered nicely in that second half, gave some scoring, which is what he's there for, and also 7-7 from the free throw line, which is pretty clutch as well. So that's good to see as well. So that he's my third star. Second star. This one's tough. I might catch some heat for this from the Cantor people, but I'm gonna make Cantor my second star.
Oh, you're going Cantor with your second? Okay.
Yeah, with the 21 and 26. Just because, it was a great game. It was a great game. He was also, again, he was part of the run in the third quarter. Him and Timmy, they were kind of the ones leading the charge there. He's +9 in the plus-minus tonight, which is pretty good. Obviously, career high in rebounds, 2018-19 NBA season high in rebounds, which is almost equally impressive considering the rebounding performances going on this year. And yeah, all in all, pretty good game for him. But just because the dunk got me so hyped up, I'm gonna give Moutier number 1. Moutier, because he played another great game, so it's not like he's undeserving.
Yeah.
It's not like that was the only thing he did all game. 17 points, 5 of 12 shooting, whatever, but 2 of 4 from 3 land, which is awesome. 5 of 5 from the stripe, 4 assists. A steal, a very impressive block. I mean, he was like a highlight factory, as it turned out. He had that block where it was kind of a out of nowhere. I forget who it was that he blocked. Was it like Temple? Maybe he might have doubled up on Temple tonight, or maybe it was Conley that he blocked. I forget. Whoever he blocked the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And then came back later on.
Oh yeah. He pinned. I think it was Temple's shot. He pinned or Anderson. Yeah. He was Anderson at Temple. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget if it was Temple. All apologies to Temple tonight, man. He got sunned by Moutier in that case. But yeah, and that dunk. I mean, I can't stop thinking about that dunk. That was such a cool moment, and probably like top 5 Knick moment of this year so far, and it'll probably hold up as one of the top 5 moments of this season. So I give him that star.
No doubt about it. Good stuff, man. All right, my third, I'm gonna go with Timmy, like you. 22 points, 2 dimes, +12 on the night. He did struggle shooting, but he did go 7 for 7 from the line. So even though he was struggling, he still maintained his aggressiveness. Like you said, nobody's really perfect on the offensive end, but they earned it. These were tough, physical. This was a physical team they went up against. The top defense in the league. They give up a league average of 100 points. We were able to go over that by a little bit. And timely hoops is part of our player ratings, man. And Timmy certainly gave us a timely bucket with 2 minutes left down that stretch. So I think he definitely deserves that third star. My second one, I'll go with Moutier on the second one. As you said, another phenomenal game. 17 points, 4 dimes across the board. 1 steal, 1 block, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 5 of 12 from the field, almost 50%. He's been averaging 50% since being inserted into the starting lineup. And, solid play from Moutier. 2 for 4 from 3. And, this is what we need from our point guard. This is what we need from our point guard. And Moutier's been doing a good job. Give credit where credit is due. We're not ascending him into all-star caliber, but we appreciate the games that he's been playing. He's been playing good. He's been playing well. So Moutier gets my second star. First star goes to Cannon. 21 and 26. 9 and 16 from the field. 41 minutes. +9 on the night. He battled. There was a grind in the grindhouse, and we wouldn't have gotten this W without him. This was a night where his stats really shine bright, and that 26 career high for him. Shout out to Cannon, man. Monster game, man. Monster game. So with that being said, what's your player ratings for these guys? What's your player ratings for Tim, Cannon, and Moutier?
Let's see, Tim.
Does Canner earn your 10 tonight? Does Canner earn your 10 tonight?
No, I'll never make that mistake again. 'Cause I'll never catch that crap again. You know, I gave him a relative 10 one time, and now it's the joke here now. So I'm never giving another 10. He got the one and only.
All right.
Forever.
Okay.
Unless Porzingis daggers someone in a game 7 or something, then I'll give another 10. Let's see, Cancer, I will give. Let's say I'll go high. I'll give him a 9 today.
I'll give him a 9 as well. Quality of opponent definitely has to be taken into consideration.
Yep.
Quality of opponent
and how he kind of rebounded there, and pun intended. Rebounded there in the second half where he kind of was struggling a little bit, getting his shot off in the first half, and he came out like a man possessed in that third quarter. You know, pump fakes around the rim.
Yeah,
I mean,
catalyst.
He was in a mode. Yeah, he was in a mode today where, like, if you got him within 5-6 feet of the rim, there was like no shot that it wasn't going to go in for a little bit there.
True.
So yeah, it definitely, I think he's deserving of that 9.
All right.
Tim, I'm gonna go a little low. Probably relatively. I'm gonna give him like. I'm thinking 6.5, but I feel like I should give him a 7. Somewhere between, we'll say a 6.75, just because that first half was pretty ugly. Granted, he was being covered. He was being covered very tight, but you can't forget about that first half when you're judging the whole game.
That's true.
But he was a catalyst. Definitely was better than he was a good player tonight.
Yeah.
And
I give Tim a 7. I thought that 3 with 2 minutes left, it was clutch. It was a clutch 3, even though he was shooting poorly, as you said. But that 3-pointer gave us a 1-point lead in the game, and that led to the Moutier fast break steal on that next possession. So, I give Tim a 7. And what about Moutier?
Moutier, I'll give it 8.5 because that dunk was worth the extra half, and then the 8 is for the rest.
Yeah.
Just and I've already gotten into everything. I love how he played tonight.
Yeah,
so
I agree with
I think he's really good. I gotta say, I was kind of a Moutier booster before that draft with Porzingis, so I've been feeling very good and vindicated lately by him playing so well. So it's been nice. It's been a good turn of events lately for me.
You feel like you're redeemed.
Him doing well.
You feel like you're
a
redeemed.
little bit, yeah. I mean, I feel like before the preseason. I mean, by the end of the preseason, I was basically ready to give up on him. But before the preseason, I was like, look, let's just give him one more shot, whatever. And like people I talked to, whatever, were like, there's no way. Like, he sucks. Like, look at his numbers. Look at how he plays. He's freaking awful. And I was like, I know, but I want to believe that he can still be good. So I feel pretty good about the fact that he's now finally figuring it out. I like the kid. I'm glad to see that he's doing well now.
Yeah, man. Same here, man. Same here. All right, and that was the player ratings. What do you guys think at home, man? What were your player ratings for these guys? Moutier, Timmy, and Canner. Who are your 3 stars? Who are your player ratings 1 to 10? Leave a comment in the chat. From what I've seen so far, it looks like the chat is in agreement with us tonight. They're not killing you tonight. They're not killing you for the 10, man. So good job.
All right, good.
Yeah,
it's always good to see. You know, I like being loved here. You know.
Yeah, you're getting the player ratings down, Pat. You're getting the player ratings down, Pat, man. I gave a 10 to somebody the other night. I think it was Trey Burke. The
Celtics game you had to, right?
Yes.
Celtics one, right? Yeah.
I gave Trey a 10. I gave Trey a 10. My first 10 of the season went to Trey Burke in that Celtics game because he was lights out, man.
That was worthy. Yeah. That was a worthy cause.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the speaking of Trey Burke, did you see the picture of Trey Burke's grandpops rocking Jay Ellis's tees at the Thanksgiving dinner table?
Yeah. That was awesome, man.
Man.
He's big now. Yeah, those shirts are cool, man. I gotta buy one for myself. Early Christmas gift.
Facts. Jay Ellis still supposed to send me my shirt. Jay Ellis, send me my shirt, man.
Yeah, I can't decide what player I want, man, because there's like 3 or 4 I really like. I can't decide which one is my favorite.
Yeah. Nah, shout out Jay Ellis, man. Definitely shout out Jay Ellis. We had ISO's aunt was in the chat last Friday night. Friday Night Knicks. ISO's aunt joined us for Friday Night Knicks. So the family's certainly tuning in, man, and some of the players as well. So That's been good to see.
She was just on Hard Knicks Life, I believe.
Yeah, his mom was on Hard Knicks Life. His mom was on Hard Knicks Life for sure, man. Yeah.
That's so funny.
The chat's laughing at me. I told you about the Burke 10. They call me Tack. All credit due. They call me Tack. Call me all the way from Hawaii, and because I gave Burke a 9 originally, and Tack called me all the way from Hawaii, and he was like, it's a 10, and was convincing. Was convincing with it too. So, shout out to Tack, and shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Definitely smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button for us. If you are a diehard Knicks fan, this is definitely the channel for you. CP here from Knicks Fan TV. My man Alex Wolf from Posting and Toasting, one of the top Knicks blogs out there in the stratosphere. Definitely check out his writing. Check him out on Twitter as well. That's my guy, man. Appreciate you, Alex. How much time you got left, Al? We got a couple more calls in the ducket here. Just let me know how you looking on time.
Dude, whatever. I got time.
All right, cool.
I got time.
All right, cool. So back to the phones as we wrap up. Let's go to Max from the Bronx. Max, what's going on, man? You want to talk about these winning ways? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, CP? What's going on, Al?
Yo.
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. It's crazy. So, I don't know what this Knox thing is. Maybe because Doncic is playing so well, people want to try to bash Knox. Knox can't even get in a rhythm. How can you get in a rhythm if you're only playing like 6 minutes? How do you do that? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what this thing about why people so hard on him. It's like the Knicks fan base want people to be bust so they can say they're right about something. Like, you cannot get in a rhythm in 6 minutes. Now, for the winning ways, right? I feel a little weird about it. I'll be honest with you. I would be 50 times happier if we were winning with Mitch, Schreier, which we kind of are, Vonleh, Frank, and Knox. I would be 10 times happier because it'll be like, okay, the young guys are growing and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But, I'm like 31, right? So I've been watching the NBA for a very long time, right? And there's a thing called contract time and contract year. And when this contract year, certain players play a lot better than they usually would play. And there's 2 players specifically who are in the contract year. And those players are named Emmanuel Mudiay and Trigger Trey Burke. So, me personally, and Al and CP, I want you to speak on this. Do you really believe it? Do you honestly believe it? In your heart of hearts, would you put money on it? I mean, would you put money on it? I wouldn't put money on it, personally speaking. I don't believe it, personally speaking.
Wait. Put money on what, though? Put money on what, though?
Put money on him being who he is right now for the majority, say the next 15 games. I wouldn't put money on it, personally.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I watched the NBA too long. Because you know what's going to be a problem and it's going to be a problem with Fizdale. This thing with Hezonja starting and Hezonja getting minutes, if that cheap what you kill thing, somebody's going to throw it in his face very soon. All you have to do is start losing again. Once they start losing again, that locker room is going to be a little funny because Hezonja has earned nothing. Hezonja, and I love Hezonja. You know how bad I want him to be good? He is terrible on all fronts, passing, shooting, defense, IQ, whatever you want to put it. Dotson literally does everything you want him to do, and you don't play the guy? I don't get it. Like, what is the excuse for this? What more does he need to do? If Dotson right now would ask for a trade, I would tell him trade him, and I love Dotson because it's not fair. You're playing Hezonja. You know, Hezonja does running hooks on a fast break with another guy to pass to. He's like a moron. He does stupid stuff. He does the dumbest stuff.
I mean,
you ever seen in your life?
Listen, I think Hazonia leaves a lot to be desired. He looks like he should be playing soccer, Al. For some reason, the guy just seems more built to be playing soccer than to be playing basketball, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, again, we already talked about this like ad nauseum today, but I think Fizdale's just trying to see what he's got in Hazonia, and it is what it is. Like, I think eventually he'll come to the same conclusion that we're coming to, that like Dotson should probably be playing, and Hazonia should probably not be playing. So I'm fine with just waiting it out, for these couple, more games or whatever, and see what comes of it. But I think Fizdale's also all for. I think it's just like an unfortunate circumstance that like this 3-game win streak started on that night when Hazonia was that the first start that Hazonia got?
Yes, it was.
Start before
yes,
that?
It was. That was his first night. Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's just kind of an unfortunate thing that like the whole team has been playing really well once he got inserted in the starting lineup, even if he himself hasn't been playing that well, because now Fizdale clearly, when you hear his comments, he values things like, oh, this starting lineup has been winning for us, so that's what he's going to value. But you see, like you already noted, Hazonia didn't close the game tonight, so clearly he knows that Hazonia is not the answer to be out there in the clutch moments, So it's whatever. Like, again, I'm not sweating it. I'm not. Also, to the other point that he was making, like I'm also not sweating giving Burke and Moutier minutes, because like. Moutier more so than Burke even. Moutier is really controlled by the team. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year because he's still on his rookie contract. So you're in a situation at the end of the year where if he plays up to the point where like, you want to keep him, you have a lot of options to keep him.
Yeah.
So he's literally on the same contract as Porzingis is. He's on this 4th year of his rookie deal.
That's right.
Where you get all those rights to keep him and all that. So no problems with playing him if he's going to keep playing the way he is. But like, I don't know. I get the feeling maybe Burke would give the Knicks sort of a, if anyone was going to give the Knicks sort of a hometown discount, I think it'd be Burke.
Yeah.
Not that New York is his hometown, but like this is the team that gave him a shot last year. When he was all but washed out of the league. He was about ready to be in the NBA.
Right.
And they gave him that other shot. So I think maybe he would be the type of dude to give them a little discount to stick around and hopefully be here for the winning times.
I agree.
We'll see.
I agree with that. And I don't, to Max's point, appreciate the call, Max. We just got to run to other calls, but I'll just close on your point on this. I don't really see playing Moutier and Burke as a hindrance to the development of the rookies. I think these guys are equally as young. Emmanuel Moutier is 22 years old. Trey Burke is how old, Al? 25? About 25. Still a young pup.
Yeah.
About that. I think him and Timmy about that. About 25, I believe. But you still got to see what you have in these guys. You still got to see who's going to be moving forward on this rebuilding train. So I don't really see. The only one you could argue with is like Cannon, Courtney Lee. Those are the two guys you're saying, well, Cannon got 40-plus minutes tonight. Yes, he did he did help us out tremendously. He had a great game tonight. But is that a hindrance to Money Mitch? Do you want more Money Mitch out there? Yes, I'll make that argument. But for like Moutier and Burke, I can't argue with them playing over guys like Frank and them guys like that, because they still need to get evaluated to see if they have any future here. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and like Moutier's still real young. Moutier's younger than Trier. You know, and Trier's like one of our prized rookies. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So Moutier maybe is finally turning a corner. I mean, point guard is a position where sometimes you see guys take their whole rookie contract to figure it out. Maybe he's just one of those guys. And he just needed the right coach, and he found him. So
Factuals. Hey, I don't know. Maybe Fizz will have that same magic with Mario. Max, just stay patient, I guess. Stay patient, everybody in the chat. Once again, shout out everybody in the chat. Jamal Simpson, Sid Leonard, what's going on? The Entertainer is in here. My man, The Entertainer. Shout out The Entertainer. If you guys haven't followed him, any Giants fans out there, definitely follow The Entertainer. My man, The Entertainer, had 1,000 plus people in his Giants Philly live stream today. I was in there watching along, pissed off as he was. But yeah, shout out The Entertainer, man. He had a monster day today in his live stream, and yeah, he's in the chat right now. All right, let's go to Matt from Florida. Matt, well, speaking on the Canner topic, Matt thinks Canner should be starting more. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, thanks for taking my call tonight. First of all, I want to talk to the young bucks in here. I'm an old school Knicks fan. I'm 45,
okay.
So I've watched the Knicks through the 90s.
Excellent.
When defense was a premium.
That's fact. That's a fact.
The Knicks, to me, tonight held a team below 100 points.
Yes, they did.
It drives me nuts when the Knicks allow guys to just drive through the lane, not get a hand on them, not play any kind of defense. Because defense wins games. And the Knicks defense was the best tonight that it's been all year long. So you want to know my player ratings? I'll throw it in there.
Okay.
Tanner was number one. I'm sorry. You can't replace 26 rebounds, 21 points. That dude is a double-double machine. His one deficiency is defense, but the man beat up tonight on a lot of possessions. He altered some shots. He got in there, and I got to say this: I would like to see Mitch Rob and Canner on the floor together. If Robinson could learn not to foul out, they'd have twin towers. They'd have two guys that could. Robinson is a better defender, maybe in terms of blocks. He gets a lot of blocks. Can't score a lot, but maybe that's something that'll develop over time with a jump shot. He gets a lot of putbacks. Canner is just an old-school, grinded-out center down low, and he commands a double team. They got to learn to pass better out of a double team.
Yeah, he's got to learn.
Canner was my number one guy tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I love Cantor. I think he's untradeable. He's one of those assets you just do not want to get rid of.
You'd want to spend the money on him? You'd want to invest the money on him going forward?
I'd keep him. Keep him. You need an old school center like that can just grind out rebounds. He's like a Tyson Chandler. Those kind of scorers. Tyson's got, no kind of three. I don't want to see Cantor taking threes. I don't know how the audience feels about that, but Cantor can't shoot threes. His game is not, beyond the arc.
That ain't it. That ain't it for Cantor. He's trying out there. He's trying to adjust to that style of play, but
he's trying. I know Fizz wants him. I know Fizz wants him to shoot threes, but that's ridiculous. I mean, come on. You're wasting his talent. Down low, he's almost unstoppable. He's got footwork. He doesn't look out of place at any point. The teams realize it. I can't believe how long it took Memphis to throw two guys at him.
Yeah.
And the big part, too, is when you get doubled down low, which what happened to Canner, a few possessions, somebody else, one of the guards actually has to come to the ball. The spacing on that was horrible. So that's what I'll say there. So Cantor's my number one. I never give anybody a 10. There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 9.
All right.
My number 2 is Moutier. I love Emmanuel Moutier. This kid can play. He's scrappy. He's finishing better. I know you guys are just talking about the guard alignment, moving ahead, trying to get minutes for everybody. Let's be honest. Remember back to the Pat Riley days, Jeff Van Gundy days. I know we're in a new era of analytics, but at the end of the day, you play the guys that are winning the games for you. You shorten those minutes up, and you start to see a winning combination. Moutier is playing very well. He had another great game tonight. Like you said, 17 points, 4 dimes. He's awesome. And he's 6'5". For a point guard. He's more of a hybrid guard. He can create some serious matchup nightmares. I'm going to give him an 8.5 tonight. He's my number 2. And you said it correct. My number 3 is Tim Hardaway Jr. All year, he's been the Knicks' most consistent player, at least, scoring-wise. He may not have scored, loaded the stat sheet tonight, but he did have 22. And had some key transition baskets and threes in transition that were really big for the Knicks to win this one. And the foul shots. What was he, 7 out of 7?
7 out of 7 for Timmy tonight. Yep.
Yeah. Let's be honest. great foul shooting, great defense are what wins games. And the Knicks can keep this thing going. I mean, they've got two big guys. I mean, I want to get your take. I mean, I'm sure you agree with me. Robinson and Cantor could be devastating down low if they could work them in tandem together. I would try to keep Courtney Lee, at least for a few more years. He's the Knicks' best defender. He's a 3D guy. He can hit an enormous amount of threes. He can defend the team's best player. He's a great defender. And, you know, I just think that, like, you know, guy, and I heard somebody say that they wanted to see Nicolina come back in. I think that guy's garbage. I think he's a defender, but he's got no offensive nothing. And when the game is on the line, you can't count on him to deliver. I'm sorry. You guys are going to win the game for you, big clutch players. Burke is one of those guys. Yeah. Burke is a first-round talent. So is Alonzo Trier, ISO. The only reason he wasn't in the first round, let's be honest, because he failed those PED tests.
Right.
That's it.
That's it, man.
That's the only reason. I'm from Westchester myself. Okay. I've only been here a few years.
All right.
So I've been watching Knicks basketball. I live, breathe this team. I love the team.
There you go, man. Well, yeah, we definitely appreciate the call, man. Yeah, I think this is your first time calling, man. Definitely appreciate you calling back as well, man.
Yeah, y'all got a great show, man.
Thanks.
Absolutely great show going here.
Thanks a lot,
love
man.
The feedback.
Thanks for the support, man.
All right.
And yeah, I like when the old school fans call in, Al. You know, I like the old heads like myself that remember the '90s Knicks. So shout out to Matt. Unfortunately, like I said, we just got to run through the calls before we wrap up for tonight. Well, what was your take on? I agree with most of what he said, but I'm not sure about the Cannon and Money Mitch part playing together. I wasn't too sure. I'm not too sure about that one. What do you think about that combo?
I think they're okay together. I mean, like, if you could play Cantor and Vonleh together, you could certainly play Cantor and Mitch together.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a perfect pairing. Like, I think he was talking about the whole like Twin Towers thing. I think that sort of thing is getting a little bit antiquated.
Yeah.
In today's game, like, you kind of need. I don't know, because it's like Mitch's biggest strength is defending the rim, but if you put him out there with Cantor can't chase guys on the perimeter, and Mitch can. So then you're taking away one of Mitch's best strengths. So it's a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly. They've tried that a few times this year.
They did.
Cantor with Mitch, and
Hasn't
I mean it sort of works. I mean sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like they just. Something about their games, it's not a perfect match. You know what I mean? It's
that way, yeah.
Yeah, at least I don't think so. But yeah, that's, and also I don't know how I felt about his Frank assessment personally.
He said Frank
that's just garbage. Me. Man, he said Frank is garbage. I can't deal with that,
listen, man. It's gonna take Frank time, man. It's going to take him time, you know? It's going to take him time.
Yeah.
I see both sides of the Frank argument. I understand the people's frustrations with him. But at the same time, I sometimes see things in him that it's like, all right, give him some more time. Give him some more time. Let him cook.
I mean, he's younger than Mitch, all things considered, too. That's the biggest thing that I keep going back to is, like, people treat Mitch with kid gloves of, like, oh, he's young, he's fouling, blah, blah, he's learning.
That's true.
But it's like, hey, you know, Frank's younger than him. Well, he might be a second-year player, but
But see, the thing is, Frank, for his whole career, Frank will never be able to shake the Donovan Mitchell connection, the Dennis Smith Jr. connection. He's never gonna shake that, and that's gonna be to his detriment for his whole career, no matter what he turns out to be. You know what I'm saying? Because offensively, he's never gonna be that stud like they are.
Those two.
You know what I'm saying? And that's always.
However.
Yeah.
However, Dennis Smith Jr. is never going to be defensively what Frank is. So.
Right. And right now he seems like a mental case.
Yeah.
I want no parts of that guy. I still don't understand how people like cheerlead for Dennis Smith Jr. I want no parts of that guy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, let's run through some more real quick. How you doing on time, man?
I'm fine.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, we had a couple people waiting for a while, so I just want to get it through. All right, Ace from Queens wants to talk about the tank. Ace, what's going on, man? Are you angry about this win?
Hey, what's up, man? Shout out to y'all for answering this call, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man.
I'm never mad about a Knicks win. I'm never mad about a Knicks win. Knicks gotta definitely show what they could do. They definitely have to show the talent that they have in these young boys. That's why I hear guys talking about playing like Cantor, maybe more minutes. Nah, you play Mitchell, man. Let these boys audition. I don't know if y'all talking about future or y'all talking about right now. But if you're talking about right now is the future. You got to play them boys. Because really and truly, the only way we're going to get that little draft pick, I say a lottery pick right now is better than being the 6th seed right now. We're not this year. I don't think we're a 4th seed, home court advantage team this year. Not at all, right?
We're nowhere close.
Not at all. So nowhere close. So I'm not going to be satisfied with 6, 7, 8 seed and then losing that draft pick. Because for right now, the future's now. Like a caller called earlier, we could strike out in free agency. It's not a guarantee that these big free agents that we talk about are going to come to New York. So let's develop this young talent. Let's get a next little lottery pick for next year. So what brought other play like of LeBron to Lakers was seeing that young talent blossom. That's all right. Maybe a free agent going to see that. Let them boys play. This year's just an audition right now. She ain't got to play. Courtney Lee even has to play. Certain kind of situations, you be like, guys, why is this guy in the game in this situation?
Yeah.
Hey, let's see what he could do. Let's see. Why is he in the 4th quarter and 4 minutes ago? Let's see what he could do. Let the other team see what he could do.
Okay.
Things like that. We know what Timmy could do. We know what Timmy gonna bring us.
Mm-hmm.
We know what Cancer gonna bring us. We know Moutier was always gonna be a lottery pick if we didn't pick KP up that year. So he was always a high on everybody high draft board at that time, and he's developing still. Frank, you got to play Frank. Defense, to win championships is always going to be that point guard in front of him, and we're going to have to let him play defense on that point guard like Lowry, like whoever's going to be in front of him when it's going to be that time given. Defense win games, so lock down that point guard. Let KP and them guys do their job, put up the numbers like they're going to get paid to do.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it, bro. I see it ain't called tanking. You're going to play hard. But when you see the lineup out there, you're going to be like, damn, that kind of look like a tanking lineup to me. But, hey, let them guys play ball, man. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think about that.
I appreciate it.
I don't want to get bounced in the first.
My fault. I had to cut him. My fault, Ace. We got mad people on the call. But I get your point, man. We got to just let these guys play. Let the chips fall where they may, Al. You know what I mean? And with the Frank thing, listen, it may – defense wins games, defense wins championships. Ace is 100% right on that. And that's why, you know, when Matt says, you know, Frank is garbage, I still think you could still use his defense. You know, he may never be the point guard that we want him to be. He may be somebody else. He may be a weak 3, but a strong defensive player. And maybe that's what it is. But I still think he can still be of value to us. And I think he'll continue to be that way as he matures.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, of course he has value.
Yeah.
You know, there's always value for a defender. I brought this up, I don't know when, some other Sunday in the last month or so.
Mm-hmm.
But that, you know, he if he bottoms out, if he absolutely bottoms out, he'd be Andre Robertson. You know, that's like his floor, his absolute floor.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll bottom out like that, you know. Facts. But at worst, he's a dude that can D up the opposing team's best player, really almost from 1 to 4 at this point. I mean, he could D up anybody, and shut them down. You know, make sure that they have a tough night. And you know, even if he can't do anything on offense, he's out making sure that you know, the other team's best player is going to have a tough night too.
Yeah.
So
can't discredit that defense, man. Ace, appreciate the call. Shout out everybody in the chat. I see the chat's been going. We got 300 people in here. Smash that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. If you're watching on the replay, one of the things for some of you new guys, if sometimes some of you guys may miss the initial live stream, I do replay these live streams at 12 midnight. between 12, 1 midnight, 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon the next day, and also 2 p.m. the next day. So I do that to keep the chats open. I see a lot of people like to, chat about the game and the goings on the team. So if you missed tonight's stream live, you can catch the live stream replays and still communicate with your fellow Knicks fans. So that's one of the perks of subscribing to the channel. That's why you guys got to subscribe. All right, let's go to... Let's go back to the phone. Smokestack New York says D isn't gonna stop Golden State. By the time we're ready, Golden State won't even be a twinkle in the eye. Al, I mean, the guy Smokestack, you thinking way too far ahead. We're not even. By the time we even get to the playoffs, Golden State will be. Steph Curry will probably be retired, man. You know.
Also, what kind of argument is it that D wouldn't stop them?
Yeah,
he's the only thing that can stop all of them.
He's the only thing that can stop them. Oh, man. Shout out Smokestack. All right, let's go to Gene from the Bronx. He wants to talk about the fight in tonight's Knicks. Gene, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you feeling, bro?
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, hey, I'm feeling great after this game tonight, man. I'm telling you, I'm ecstatic. I remember the last time I spoke to you guys, I spoke about Cantor being put in that starting lineup, that it would bring a little more emphasis to our offense.
You did,
and then we won 3 in a row with him just like that. And tonight, it was like a 12-round heavyweight fight. I'm telling you. And the way we kept fighting and bouncing back and not quitting in this game. A couple of weeks ago, we probably would have folded. The way they were blocking shots every time we came to the hole, they had 12 blocks to 5 hours or something like that. They over doubled ours. And we kept coming. We took their best hit, and we kept coming. And then here come Moutier with the right cross to the jaw and buckled their knees. Boom! He gave it to them.
The fight analogy.
And they was wobbling. Yeah, they was wobbling, boy. And then we just got to the foul line and just put them away.
Mm-hmm.
Put them away. And that's the fight that Fizdale's bringing to the table.
They wanted it. They wanted this one for Fizdale tonight, no doubt about it. They wanted it for Fizz.
Yeah, they did it for Fizz. And I told my man earlier, I said, yo, this game is for Fizz tonight. I know they coming to get it for him. And that's just what they did. I'm sorry his suit got all wet up because I heard they threw water on him, but that's funny.
Yeah, I heard.
But it's all good. As long as we got the W, now it's on to the Pistons. You got to keep this train rolling.
Facts.
All
right, G.
So what do you guys think about the fight?
Oh, man, and appreciate the call, G. No, the fight was excellent, man. Like I said, I thought they play hard for Fizz. They wanted this victory for him, coming back to the grindhouse. This was another part of the revenge tour. So they went to Boston, got their revenge. They got their revenge in the Pelicans, who beat them in New Orleans. And now they get more revenge at the grindhouse, man. So it's a character-building win. It's a character-building win, man. I'm definitely proud of them. Definitely proud of them, man.
Yeah, and it was cool to see Fizdale got kind of emotional post-game as well. Also with the reporters and stuff. I saw a little something about that from JB, Knicks Film School, tweeted that out.
Shout out JB. Shout out Knicks Film School.
Fizdale got a little emotional after the game, talking about how the players all said they were going to do it for him.
Nice.
And, win this game for him against the Grizzlies. So that was cool to see, man.
Yeah.
It was nice to see. You could tell the players wanted to win it for him, and it's nice to see that the Knicks have a coach that all the players love so much that they're willing to go out there and, do something strictly on his account, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, refreshing to see that they actually respect the coach because Jeff Hornacek was roadkill, man. But but yeah, man, shout out to Fizz and definitely congrats to Fizz. Alex from Westchester, he wants to talk about free agency. Alex, what's going on, man?
Yeah, how you guys doing tonight? Appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate it, Al. What's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Well, before I go into free agency, I heard that comment about Frank. I've been talking to my boys. I think Frank is floor Tony Allen kind of player. That's a championship player if you're blessed to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of free agency, I'm just curious, both your opinions. What happens if we don't sign a Klay Thompson, a Kawhi, a KD?
Yeah.
What would you guys do if you were the Scott Perry and Mills in New York? What would you do the next 2 off seasons?
Keep going. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, Al, you got coming up, you got AD, you got Greek Freak. You know, I don't like chasing these free agent dreams. You know, we've had our hearts broken already. LeBron, the whole summer LeBron thing crushed me because I really thought he was coming to the Knicks that year. So yeah, if we strike out, we strike out. You know, we just keep building through the draft, and you know, maybe you'll get a home run, and maybe this team will continue to gel with the young pieces that they acquire. You also you may be in a position one day to strike a trade. You know, a sign and trade or package up some of your young assets. You know, maybe a Knox and an ISO might get you a big time player that might be the missing piece that you need to take that final run. What you think?
Yeah, my thought would just be if they would strike out on the big names this summer, just basically roll it over. You know, don't make any rash signings. Don't overpay someone just because the money's burning a hole in your pocket. That's the biggest thing I would say, and you know, just kind of almost do it like how the Lakers did it this offseason.
Yeah.
Like they got LeBron, but they had another maximum slot that they could have given to someone else, and instead they signed a whole bunch of dudes just on 1-year deals. Once they realized that they weren't getting George, or they weren't going to trade for Kawhi, or you know, things of that nature, and they knew that money wasn't going to get used in any way. For on like a big name, like on someone worth the money, then they just sign a bunch of guys to 1-year deals. That would kind of just be my solution. You know, just don't go out there and splurge on someone who's not worth it.
Don't panic.
Yeah, no doubt. So that would be what I would say. Just kind of roll it over. Just be like, look, like, okay, we didn't get KD, Kyrie, Kawhi, whatever, but next year there's there's Anthony Davis will be the big fish in the 2020 free agency. Is Giannis, is he 2020, 2021? I forget. But
yeah.
Whatever year, like you said, he's coming up too. So, you know, you just kind of trust that your process will pay off at some point to Phillyify it. Trust the process.
Trust that process.
Trust that it would pay off at some point. Someone would want to come here. That would just be my thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Alex, appreciate the call. Don't panic, man. Just keep building. If we strike out, we strike out. Keep building. You know, eventually, like Danny Ainge did, eventually you acquire all these assets, and when the iron is hot and you're ready to strike, you flip those assets into a KG and a Ray Allen, and away you go, and you build that with your pieces that you already have. Some of these guys that come in here now, those could be trading pieces for the right trade. You know, not just for any trade. Those could be the building blocks for the right trade. And that'll be a even trade for us for once that we don't get fleeced, you know, and when we're ready to take that corner. So just steady build, man. Steady build. All right, let's take one more. Once again, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody for calling. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up button if you're a diehard Knicks fan. We appreciate you guys coming in, and hope to see you guys Tuesday night on the Detroit game. All right, Delano, we're going to go to you. Let's close us out for tonight. Delano wants to talk about the game overall. It's my guy, Delano. Only right that you close the show, man.
Yo, appreciate it, man. What's going on? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute Alex. What's going on? How y'all feeling tonight?
Hey, good win, man. Feeling good.
Absolutely a great win. I'm gonna be honest with you. The caller from Westchester, the old school Nick. I disagree with that. For one, Frank is still young and still developing, and again, he's learning the game from the European style. You know what I'm saying, to how we play in the NBA today. So again, you got to exercise some patience. So it wasn't that long ago we was writing off Moutier. Oh, trade Moutier, cut Moutier. Moutier's trash. And now look who's playing like you know what I'm saying? Like one of the most improved player candidates. Yeah, so let's not jump the gun with that. Second thing I want to talk about, I like Cantor and Vonleh, and I don't know if y'all guys pay attention to the chat that much, but I always said that the pairings
Vonleh and Cantor on the floor is what I wanted. It's something that I've been, kind of, aiming for, especially because I don't like the signing of Hazonia. I feel like you could get anybody to fill that spot personally, but specifically, I wanted that pairing of Vonleh and Cantor because it balances out Cantor's defensive deficiencies and his liability on the floor by adding Vonleh on there, because Vonleh can stay with his man, can affect shots as well. You know what I'm saying? And he jumps for it. He doesn't really chase down rebounds, but Cantor does that. So, you know what I'm saying? It balances out. But if y'all seen J. Michael Green tonight, now maybe I can see why I've been saying the whole time that specific name of what I wanted in a trade with, you know what I'm saying, as far as if we could give up Lance Thomas or even Lee and get J. Michael Green on our squad. Because look at what he did in just a short amount of time coming off of that fractured jaw situation. 6 points, and that's not, again, that pain is going to affect your offensive game. I don't care what nobody say. As a player or a former player, I'm telling you that little things like that will affect your game. But still, 7 boards, 2 blocks, you know what I'm saying? He affected the game and made it difficult for Vonleh.
Yeah, he's a tough player.
Yeah, you can't. But imagine having him on the floor with Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. You know what I'm like? That is a scary idea. That is a scary thing for other players. So if we was able to pull that trade off, yeah, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But Moutier and that dunk, man, crazy. I was out of my. It is funny because I came outside on my break to catch the end of the game, and I saw that, and I just jumped out my seat like, yo, we got one. That's it.
Yo, Moutier.
That's all it is. That's all she wrote.
Moutier put the icing on the cake, and Delano, appreciate you as always, man. Moutier put that icing on the cake, Al. Absolutely, man. What more can we say, man? What more can we say, Knicks fans? 3 wins in a row. The tank has been put on ice for a second, man. I don't know. Where's the tank? Where is Knicks tank right now? Where in the world is Knicks tank right now? I don't know.
The tank is stalling.
The tank has stalled out, man. The tank is stalled out, man. But yeah, man. Listen, we just gotta roll with it, man. Like I said, I don't root for losses. Obviously, in wanting to upgrade the talent on this team, I won't cry when they lose, but I'll be happy when they win, and especially 3 straight quality wins. This is another quality win, and you got nothing else but to be proud of. Again, you know what I'm saying. So with that being said, my guy Nick says we got to hit the music. So we'll hit the music for Al. I'm gonna put it on your screen. If you want to close out, promote yourself. Appreciate you once again, man. Alex Wolf, Sunday night team. Hey, man, love to have you on here, man. Love to have you on here. But go ahead and close out, man.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, happy to be here again. I'm Alex Wolf. I'm on Posting and Toasting. That's SB Nation's Knicks blog. So postingandtoasting.com. Catch me on Twitter at @theAlexWolf, ALEXWOLFE. Catch me also on Twitter on @PT Knicks blog. That's the Posting and Toasting Twitter account. And as usual, that's about it for me. But yeah, happy to be on here, man. I'm loving this little Sunday tradition we got going on.
Sunday tradition, man. The Sunday tradition that's been going well, man. And appreciate you once again, Al. And for everybody watching, for everybody tuning in, hey, 103-98 Knicks win, 3 straight wins in a row. What more can you say, man? Tonight we had almost 500 people in the chat tonight. Goes to show you, when the Knicks win, listen, man, people are proud of this team. We had so many people coming in from worldwide. Shout out to everybody that was tuning in from wherever you were from. We had somebody as far as Australia tuning in. Had a lot of new callers. Shout out to all the callers that called in. Apologies to those who we couldn't get to tonight. It's a long show, man. We got to keep things running. But make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Knicks Fan TV. You could always find me on any one of those platforms. I'm always talking Knicks. Smash that thumbs up button for your boy. That's the best way to support the channel. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up. And leave a comment in the YouTube. If you guys are watching the replay, leave a comment in the replay. I'll get back to you. And if you missed the live stream tonight, the next one will be back on about 12:30 a.m. Eastern time. After that, it'll be 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Eastern, and 2 p.m. Eastern. So the live chats will be up and going if you want to talk about the game and recap with your fellow Knicks fans. So let me shout out some more people in the YouTube chat real quick. Shout out to Dark Shadow Media TV, appreciate it. Reaper Man, appreciate it. Godzinga's team. Will Cushman, always appreciate you. Nick Reyes, appreciate you, bro. Blah, I don't know. See you later. Jamal Simpson, appreciate it as usual. SS Television, always in here, man. One of my regulars. Keith Sinclair as well. Call me Tack, all the way from Hawaii. Shout out Tack. Flacco, I see you, Flacco, on Instagram as well. Shout out Flacco. John Talento, first guy in here, appreciate it. Mateo914, appreciate it as well. Anybody I missed, nothing personal, always appreciate the support. Like I said, man, I'll see you guys Tuesday night. Knicks Pistons, join us back here after the post-game show. Let's see if we can keep it rolling. Can we make it 4 in a row? Let's see, man. Alex Wolf, appreciate you once again, man. Always appreciate your insights, bro.
Yeah. Of course, man. Yeah, happy to be here.
Yes, sir.